exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome to the recap of the crazy game that we had to open the 2021 NFL season last night. It was absolutely wild. Let's get straight into it. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what to do. Join the Juice Club. Let's get straight into it because I don't want to waste any more time. This game was absolutely wild. What a way to open up the new season with a game this crazy. It was back and forth. It was defense. It was Brady versus Prescott. It was amazing. I watched every single second of it, and I couldn't have been happier. And I'm not even a fan of either one of these teams. And I was just happy that football was back, and we got a great game to watch. It was crazy. Let's get into some of the stats for the day that Dak Prescott had. Before we do that, I am just going to say, Dak Prescott looked really good. Now, coming into the game, I was a little bit worried. I said that in my preview on Monday, I think it was, when I put that video out there previewing this game. I said one of the factors about this game, one of the concerns I had was how Dak Prescott was going to look. Was he going to be gun shy? Was he going to be a little hesitant in the pocket? Blow all that out of the water. Dak Prescott looked fantastic last night. He threw 58 passes. Forget about the shoulder concerns. Forget about the shoulder injuries. He threw 58 passes, 403 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott was a man on a mission. And if Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady, this team, Dallas, starts 1-0. But Tom Brady, we talk about Dak Prescott throwing 58 passes. Tom Brady threw 50 for 379 and 4 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but he still threw almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. So both these quarterbacks went back and forth. It was a slugfest going punch for punch. The defense for Dallas, that was another one of the concerns. It was really just Dak Prescott and that defense were the 2 concerns that I had with Dallas. And both were seemingly answered last night. The Dallas defense played out of their minds. Micah Parsons is legit. I knew that coming into the draft. I knew that when the Cowboys drafted him, but seeing it actually play out on the field is just confirms it. Micah Parsons is the real deal. He is legit. He was everywhere on the field. He played amazing on defense, covering the passes, blitzing the quarterback, getting to Brady, causing pressure, disrupting plays. Micah Parsons was everywhere. He was legit. So he did his job. It sucks that the Cowboys lost because I thought they were actually going to pull it off. I thought they were going to upset the defending champs, and I thought they had a shot at it because Dak Prescott was looking unstoppable. I mean, he was in it. I know it was week 1, but he was in mid-season, postseason form. Like, he was on fire. It almost looked like he hadn't missed all those games last year. It was crazy the amount of pressure he was under, because that Tampa defense, I mean, the Tampa defense was a little bit underwhelming, but they did get some pressure late in that game. Vita Vea started getting some pressure. Levante David, Devin White, they started getting in there. JPP, they all got in there late in that game. The Dallas offensive line was starting to get a little tired, a little worn out. So Vita Vea started using his big body strength and started pushing the center out of the way like he was a child. And started getting some pressure on Dak, but Dak stood in there. He threw that football anyway. Absolutely wild, bro. He was amazing. I am so impressed with Dak Prescott. He really did prove himself that he proved to me that he is back. Now, enough with the Dak Prescott praise because it was pretty amazing. But let's talk a little bit about this Tampa Bay team. So, coming into the game, like I thought Tampa's defense was going to be the reason they won this game. Now, you could say that Tampa Bay's defense was a reason they won this game, But in my opinion, I feel like Tom Brady was the reason. If you don't have Tom Brady on this team, they don't win this game. If you don't have Tom Brady on this team, they aren't keeping up, fighting back and forth with the Cowboys. The Cowboys blow this team out. And for the Cowboys fans, if you go back and watch that game and you take their first couple of possessions, or really a lot of their possessions during the game, if they score instead of kicking those field goals and missing a couple of them, if they score instead of taking those field goals, that's a blowout. There's really no way that Tom Brady comes back, because that offense wasn't looking that sharp. I mean, Godwin had a couple of drops, but he looked pretty good. He struggled a little bit. Evans looked solid. He got banged up a little bit, I think. Antonio Brown looked really good. Gronk looked really good. But other than that, I mean, that offense wasn't really moving that much. Brady was kind of forcing it through. And if Dallas converts those red zone opportunities instead of taking field goals, it's a blowout. And you don't really have to worry about Tom Brady coming back and getting in the field goal range. But he did. They missed those opportunities, and Brady does what Brady does. It's what he does. He was born to come back in NFL football games. He's the comeback kid. That's literally his nickname, is the comeback kid. That's what he does. He's done it in the biggest moments. He's done it in the smallest moments. He's the comeback kid. He does that. He got him into field goal range, and Suckup hits the game-winning field goal, making it 31-29. What a game. Gronkowski, like I said, 2 touchdowns, looked really good, had 90 yards. Antonio Brown, a touchdown as well. He looked really good. Now, Antonio Brown is one of those guys that is hit or miss, but especially a hit when Tom Brady's throwing you the football. And he looked amazing last night, catching all those balls. I think he had like 5 catches for 100 plus yards. So he looked really good. Now, Chris Godwin, I mentioned in an earlier part that he had a couple of drops. He struggled a little bit. He looked overall pretty decent, but he did struggle a little bit there during the game. A couple of drops, couple of boneheaded plays. I think he had a fumble in the red zone that gave the Cowboys the opportunity to go down and kick the what they thought was going to be the game-winning field goal. So Chris Godwin did struggle. I feel like he's a good enough talent that he'll be able to bounce back after this. I mean, it's opening day. Everybody's struggling. People are going down with cramp injuries and week 1 injuries that you normally see, and everybody's just getting back into the swing of things. You haven't played live football in a ton of months and stuff, so Godwin will fix it up. It's not going to be, I wouldn't assume it would be much of a problem later on in the season. Now, if we're sitting in December and Chris Godwin's still dropping passes and having fumbles, then it's a problem. But as of right now, I don't think it's much of a problem. So Buccaneers fans, if you're watching this, you don't really have to worry about Chris Godwin. But I predict this game was going to be a little bit more of a dominant victory from Tampa Bay. I certainly didn't think Dallas's defense was going to play as well as they did. You got to give credit to them, man. They had how many? Hold on, I have some stats right in front of me. How many takeaways did Dallas's defense had? They had an interception, and I'm pretty sure they had 2 interceptions, and I'm pretty sure they had at least 2 or 3 forced fumbles. So Dallas's defense stepped up in the big time moments and played amazingly well. Nobody thought coming in this game they would be anything. Everybody thought that Tampa would just go walk all over Dallas' defense because they were basing off of last season. And I was even in this camp that Dallas' defense wasn't going to be that good. Who could have predicted that they would play that well, especially against Tom Brady in this dominant offense that they have in Tampa? But they surprised everybody, and they played amazing. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas' defense gets picked up in some fantasy football leagues, because I'm assuming it didn't really get picked up throughout most of the leagues. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple weeks down the line, if they keep playing like they played last night, teams and players, people around the world start to pick up on this Dallas defense and start picking them up in fantasy, because I think they're legit. I think they're not going to be world beaters, but I think they're legit this year. They'll definitely keep Dallas in some games. One more thing before we go, I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb is just a game breaker. He's crazy. Like, the ability that he has is so unbelievable that it's like not even real. Like, his ability to catch the ball and turn up the field, fake out defenders, and accelerate to gain 15, 20 yards on catches is just unreal. Now, I know there's plenty of guys that have that ability, but CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys is just, he's a different animal, man. He is crazy good. He's got loads and loads of talent, and I wouldn't be surprised if CeeDee Lamb is in the 800 to 1,000 yard season, maybe 6, 7 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on a Pro Bowl roster this season. So, with all that being said, Tampa Bay does get the win 31-29 on a Ryan Suckup field goal with about 10 seconds left, maybe 7 seconds in the fourth quarter. So Tampa Bay does get the victory. They start 1-0. Dallas starts 0-1, even though I think they'll be much better than a losing record. So let me know what you guys thought about the game last night if you did watch it. Let me know if you guys are excited about the new NFL season. I would assume you are if you're on this channel. You're excited about football and you're excited about the start of the new NFL season. But let me know. I'm more curious about if you guys think that the Dallas defense is legit. Do you guys think this defense is going to continue on the way they played throughout the rest of the season? Or do you think it was a one-time thing? They were all amped up for opening night. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.